Chairman, I want to rise and, out of my obligation to the people I represent, I feel I need to at least continue to do one of my responsibilities as a member of this legislative body is to use this microphone talking about the serious issues of our city. And crime and violence is one of them. The northeast part of Cleveland has seen an escalation of gun violence and violence generally this year. It is a concern that I've raised previously, and I know how complicated it is for all of us, the 18 of us that have been elected in this building, to determine how to best bring city services to the citizens of Cleveland. Well, we have a crisis. I used that term. I made sure I looked at the definition. It is a problem, crisis in Cleveland and many parts of our city. Let me just explain. There is something bold about the violence in Cleveland. And there's something about the lack of standards, the lack of compassion in the violence in Cleveland. There's something about the randomness and the severity of the violence in Cleveland. It doesn't have to be difficult for us to understand when a 5-year-old gets killed out in the open playing football that we've come to this randomness of violence in Cleveland. I had in my ward 13 and 15-year-old on St. Clair shot a few days before the 5-year-old young man was shot. I live within a distance with Councilman Conwell, where we just had, within the same week of the young man being shot at 93rd and Yale, another homicide. I'm not really standing here just so that I could get credit. I genuinely understand that the only way we're going to find a solution to the violence in Cleveland is for us to treat it as a crisis. 601 Lakeside is not the only solution to this violence. The Greater Cleveland Partnership, Cleveland Foundation, the business community, the nonprofit community, the health care community, all of us have to get together and determine what the heck are we going to do to stop this violence, and more particularly the black-on-black violence. In the city of Cleveland, disproportionate amount of the perpetrator and the victim are African American, and they fit a profile. Young African American males, usually gang-related, usually drugs in there somewhere. I cannot rely on Chief Williams to resolve this problem. I need to be able to have a public-private partnership, the same one that brought us the RNC, the same one that built the convention center, the same one that is doing Public Square. I need a public-private partnership to sit down and do some crisis management. The body count continues daily. Now, you can say I'm exaggerating. Check the record. Every day I am getting texts, emails about another person shot, stabbed in this city. We are at a crisis situation. And there's so many of the violence that's going on in the African American community. At some point, someone downtown, at some point, those who are not African American, who are in power, who are able to resolve this problem, need to step up. We have a responsibility, 18 of us, to bring them together, and we need to resolve this. Thank you, Mr. President.